He called me useless after I became disabled. So I secretly bought the house, had him evicted, and watched him cry in my driveway while his mother cursed the moon police starlight. Hi, Reddit. Grab a snack. No, actually, grab a whole damn buffet. Because this story is so unhinged, twisted, dramatic, and laced with petty revenge and betrayal that even my therapist told me to submit it somewhere. So here I am. My name is Nancy. I'm 32. And 6 months ago, I thought I had the perfect life. I ran a thriving online business. Let's just say it involved custom planners, digital templates, and printable manifestation journals, made close to $5,000 a month, and was married to Victor, a mildly attractive man with a jawline that made up for his lack of personality. Victor and I lived in a suburban two-story house that technically belonged to his mother, a woman I will only refer to as Medusa in a Chanel cardigan. Everything seemed fine until life, in true chaotic fashion, decided to throw me into the plot of a gothic revenge novel. The accident that changed everything. It started with a freak car accident. I was driving home from Target, feeling good about buying shampoo and a new mug I didn't need, when BM, an 18-wheeler, ran a red light and clipped my car. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital with 2 broken legs, a messed up spine, and a neurologist saying things like permanent mobility impairment. Translation: I need a wheelchair, at least for the foreseeable future. Victor visited me exactly twice during my month-long hospital stay. His mother, Medusa, came once and complained about parking. They didn't even bring me my charger. When I finally came home, everything changed. The beginning of the end. Victor's face when he saw me in a wheelchair was not the look of concern or compassion. It was pure inconvenience. Like I had just told him his Xbox broke. Again. You're going to need help with everything now, aren't you? He said, while scratching his empty head. Yes, Victor. That's usually what being temporarily paralyzed entails. Then came Medusa. Oh, my poor boy. How is he supposed to live like this? She said, while gesturing to me like I was a busted futon she couldn't return. I tried to stay calm. I reminded them I still ran my business and made more money than both of them combined. But apparently, being unable to vacuum meant I was useless now. The betrayal. 2 weeks later, Victor told me he needed space. Then he clarified from you. In this house, he actually wheeled me out to the porch, and said, "You'll be more comfortable with your family." This isn't working. I asked, so me being disabled is just a deal breaker? He said, and I quote, "It's not the disability. It's your energy." Excuse me? My energy? Meanwhile, Medusa stood in the background holding a Tupperware container and nodding solemnly like I had committed arson. I didn't even have time to process the betrayal before tragedy struck again. My father died. 2 days after being dumped out like trash, I got a call. My dad passed away suddenly, heart attack. I was devastated. I called Victor, sobbing, not even to reconcile, just because I didn't know who else to reach out to. You know what he said? "That's unfortunate, but I don't think it's healthy for you to call me anymore." And he hung up. I stared at my phone, feeling the world collapse. My dad had loved Victor like a son, and now neither of them were in my life. I broke. But then, I rebuilt. And not just rebuilt, I constructed a plan so cunning, so unhinged. Even I wondered if I had watched one too many revenge thrillers. My secret plan. While everyone thought I was crying into my pillow, I was doing admin, business admin, finance admin, and legal admin. You see, my dad had left me something. A large inheritance, enough to buy several homes. But I didn't want several. I wanted one. Their house. The one Victor and Medusa lived in. The one that was in the family for generations. The one Medusa bragged about constantly at family dinners while chewing with her mouth open. I called my lawyer. I made some offers. Apparently, Medusa had secretly taken out a second mortgage because she wanted a surgery vacation in Turkey last year. She couldn't keep up with the payments. The house was in foreclosure. I bought it. Quietly. Legally. Pettily. Then I waited. The eviction heard around the block. A month later, Victor came home from whatever dead-end job he had, saw a legal notice on the door, and called me furious. "You're evicting us?" "No," I said. "The new owner is." You're the new owner. Correct. Q screaming. Medusa called me a demon, a snake, a Jezebel. Victor cried. Literally cried. In the driveway. His Xbox was on the lawn. I rolled up, yes, in my wheelchair, sipping an iced coffee and said, "You said I had bad energy. So I bought the house to improve it." The look on his face could have powered my chair for a year. The aftermath. They were out in 2 weeks. I donated all the furniture they left behind. Except the bed, I burned that. I now live in that house, fully renovated. I've installed ramps, smart doors, a cozy office for my business, and a shrine to my dad with his photo, his favorite mug, and a quote he always said to me: "Never let the bastards win." TLDR. Husband and mother-in-law kicked me out for becoming disabled. So I secretly bought their house and had them evicted. Now I live here, wheelchair and all, with peace, money, and zero bad energy. Edit. Thanks for the awards and love. For everyone asking, yes, I did film the eviction through the Ring camera. No, I can't post it here. But let's just say Medusa screamed at a squirrel on her way out and Victor tripped over a garden gnome. Karma works in mysterious, often hilarious ways. Stay petty, my friends. Update. My ex-husband kicked me out after I became disabled. Now he's begging to come back. But I made him audition for my dog police Scarlight. Hey Reddit. It's your girl Nancy again. The one who got kicked out by her crusty husband and snake-like mother-in-law after a car accident left me in a wheelchair and then bought their house and evicted them like the final boss in a petty revenge video game. If you missed that chaos, it's all here, TLDR. I became disabled, got tossed out like expired yogurt, secretly bought the house they lived in, and kicked them both out. Karma did a full pirouette and slapped them upside the head. Well, grab your emotional support popcorn again, because Victor came crawling back. The text message that set off my spidey senses. 3 months after the great eviction of the unholy duo, I got a message from Victor. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Can we talk? I ignored it. 5 minutes later, another one. I know I messed up. I miss you. Please. Okay, hold up. This is the man who wheeled me onto a porch like an unwanted Amazon package, told me I had bad energy, and let his mother say I should be sent to one of those homes. Now he wanted to talk? I laughed so hard my neighbor texted, "Are you okay?" The soggy apology tour. A week later, I'm in my wheelchair watering my succulents like the thriving disabled goddess I am, when I hear someone sobbing near the driveway. Yep, it was Victor. He looked like a deflated hot dog. Baggy jeans, hair thinning like his excuses, holding a bouquet of wilted flowers like he picked them out of a hospital trash bin. "Nancy," he sniffled. "Please, I made a mistake." I wheeled closer and said, "Which part?" "When you kicked me out, when you said I was draining your vibes, or when you let your mother call me half a woman." He said all of it. I wasn't in a good place. I didn't know how to handle it. I thought I'd be taking care of you forever. I leaned forward and whispered, "You wouldn't have had to. I already made more money than you and your mom's eBay scams combined." The audition. Now Reddit. I'm not totally heartless. I believe in character development. So I told him, "If you really want to come back, you'll have to pass a test." His eyes lit up. Anything. So I brought out my dog Sage, a 5-year-old Maltese with more emotional intelligence than Victor ever had. When Sage over, I said, "She's better at judging character than I am." He got down on his knees, cooed at her, gave her a treat. She barked once, growled, peed on his shoe. Test failed. His big revelation and even bigger lies. Then he went into monologue mode, like he thought this was a soap opera. "I'm living in a motel, Nancy. Mom's staying with her sister. She cries every day." That last part made me smile a little, not gonna lie. "I lost everything. The house, you, the Xbox. And whose fault is that?" He paused. "Yours. Yours." He said it was my fault for changing, for not being the woman he married. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "No, Victor. I didn't change. I adapted. You just exposed what you really are, a coward who can't handle reality when it isn't centered around him." Then I rolled back inside while he stood there, flowerless, shoeless, Sage bit one off, and crying again. A surprise ending you won't believe. 2 weeks later, I got an email from a real estate agent. Guess who was trying to sell the deed to his mother's ancestral land that she claimed was sacred and would never leave the family? Victor. And guess who already bought it before he could finish the paperwork? Me. Now I own both properties, the house and the land where Medusa used to do full moon rituals to hex her enemies. I'm thinking of turning it into a dog park named after Sage, maybe with a little statue of her peeing on a shoe. Victor begged to come back. I made him audition for my dog. He failed. Then I bought his mom's sacred land and planned to turn it into a public park. Edit. Yes, I filmed Sage peeing on his foot. Yes, I have considered submitting it to America's Funniest Home Videos. And no, I am not taking him back. Not now. Not ever. He had a queen and treated her like clearance socks. Now, excuse me, I have succulent missing to do and a champagne flute to refill. Let me know if you want part 3. Medusa starts a TikTok to curse me and accidentally goes viral for the wrong reasons. Stay petty. Nancy.